Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's as usual. It's only me, Quan, and I'd like to do a quick, brief video. And as you can tell, the game of the day that I'm playing right now is no other than Wizard101. Now, although it has been a while since I played these type of games, or I've played this game in particular, uh, anywhere other than streaming, I haven't uploaded a video or anything in the sort in a long time, and we will talk about that in a minute. Now, the first thing I like to do is put in a couple of updates. I have not been rolling up a lot of videos lately, and have not been active on YouTube in quite some time. And some of the due point is, well, let's just say most of it has to do with me having school, work in school, working in school, school working, schooling for the work, and so and so and other stuff. But as along with that, I like to put in some small, a little more updates than just like saying that I do work in school. Well, let's say it like this: my job, it has closed down our building, and I will have to go and relocate to a different building. That's one problem as it is, but that one problem got you know dealt with immediately. Now the other thing would be, if you don't know, this is a live play. And for some people that don't know, this is a live play. No, this is not pre-recorded or anything. This is a actual live play. So if you hear the clicking, I do apologize in advance. Now, what I'm currently doing is a couple of side quests, but that's beside the point. This will actually be my 8th to 9th playthrough of this game. I always wanted to have a life. Now that I got a life, but I don't have a life. Does that make sense? Well, make it make sense. But either way, other than me saying like so forth and the third, I have to relocate to a different job, different area. I'm still working in the same job, but I have to relocate into a different building. And by relocate, I mean I'm literally going across the street. But aside for that, school, I have to go back to school eventually. It's just very costly, and I don't want to put myself in a situation that I cannot come back from. Everyone says you have to make smart moves in life before you make the worst decisions. Now, or something like that. I don't know. I might have been told differently. I'm gonna get crit here by Triton. Triton does a lot of damage. Don't get hit like that. That's bad stuff. But other things I like to point out is that aside from school and work, I also get a upgrade in my PC. I will put a image of what my upgrade looked like on past and current. For some people that's been with me from the past, you will know that my PC back in the past was not so great. Now, I had a 2006 to 2004 setup of a PC, well, gaming in quote PC, and over due time throughout the 2 years, I've slowly begun to upgrade it, and it gotten, I say, significantly better. Well, yeah, significantly better. We can just say that. Now, the first go, I had a Core 2 Duo, not even the newer generation. It was just like a mid-generation Core 2 Duo. It was an E7400. And out of this entire journey that I had through PC gaming, I had to learn to develop as time go. I learned more than one thing than the other. It's unfortunate that no one really taught me anything at that time, and I don't think anybody was ever planning on teach me anything. But self-learning is the best learning. Well, for some parts. Now the thing is, I had a E7400 Core 2 Duo. It was slow as molasses, and I had about, like, I say 4 to 8 gigs of RAM and no graphics card. And for people that don't know, when you don't have a graphics card for some CPUs, you will be stuck with an integrated graphics card, which is somewhat worse in some cases. But since I had a Core 2 Duo, it was bad in all kinds of cases. Now, let's say about this. I have that, and I have eventually got a graphics card. For some people that don't remember, years ago, I managed to get a cheap graphics card, all thanks to you guys. And then I did another donation goal, and I managed to get another graphics card, which is shitty. Sorry for the language, which is also crappy, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. It's bad, but it wasn't as bad as what I thought it would be. It was actually decentable for the processor that I had. And you gotta remember, I had a Core 2 Duo. I was only limited to what little I had at the time. And at the time, I didn't really have a job and no income or anything. So I really do appreciate all the supporters that comes about. But that topic will be brought upon later. The other thing I would like to mention is, like, a couple other things. I had to get a whole new PC, and since I couldn't get a new everything to put down on the old PC that I had to essentially just rebuild it And after rebuilding, I just said, okay, I give up. It's time to just get a whole entire new PC. So after I got my first check and got my first job, I got $1,000 bonus and like whatever, and I used that $1,000 to like put an income into my streaming and stuff. I didn't have much responsibility back then at the time because all I had was just the job. So after I got my little bonus, I sat there and I got a little cheap PC that was like around $500 from off Amazon. Honest mistake. And what I learned from that being an honest mistake is you don't buy a cheap PC from Amazon. And I'm almost about to die here, but we're gonna play it off and act like we're professional. Just kidding. We're not gonna play it off. This is bad now. I might have to cut and edit this, but you know, these things happen. But aside from that, if I die here, I die here. This is what happens when you don't got a life. What you see here is the true definition of life kicking you down. But aside from that, after I got my PC, I got a little bit of an upgrade. I got a Core i5, a very new, not new, but old, but new startup generation. I didn't crit, that sucks. But it was a good startup for what I had, and I had a GTX 650 1 GB, and that's not something to be proud of. Having any type of graphics card that's 1 GB is a absolute disaster. I had struggled from time to time trying to work through a lot of things, and that was one of them. But as time passed, I managed to make it work. So I managed to make a lot of things work, and then at one point my computer completely broke down, and one of the capsules, okay, that's twice in a row, one of the capsules kind of like busted open. And since one of the, I'm not saying capsules, the capacitor, one of the capacitors bust open, and if I had let it run anymore, it was probably going to blow up in flames. Now, after I had my computer broke down, my motherboard completely shot and everything, I had to buy a new motherboard. So my current status right now is a actual decent powerhouse of a computer. Well, mid-range of a computer. It's basically what I really wanted to happen. I got more of a better mic, more of a professional mic. I have 2 cameras. I have a whole capture card, a switch, and so forth and everything. A lot of things worked out over the past couple years since I last did a little update on things, and I'm pretty sure that whole video is still there, because another thing you guys don't know is besides me having the bushy nappy hair when I had back then, long explained on why my hair was like that. A lot of the other things people don't know is I now have locks. Yes, I have locks. I've been in a 1 year, almost 2 year journey now. Good times. Good times. Now, a lot of other things I'd like to speak about is that my will be spoken to later in. I'm sorry for a lot of stutter. I'm kind of like thinking at the same time. But, yeah, my current is a mid-range powerhouse. My only weakest link right now, besides my RAM, is my graphics card. My graphics card is kind of just sitting there, grasping for air. And I'm using a GTX 1060 6 GB. It's not a TI. There's no such thing as a TI on the 660. Now the problem with that is the 660 is fantastic. On the other hand, my CPU outshines it. I'm using the Ryzen 5 5600X, not the basic Ryzen 5, but the 5600X is more of a powerhouse. It sits in between, somewhat close to i9 or Ryzen 9. It's a literal powerhouse. It's just very unfortunate. What am I doing? It's just very unfortunate. I teleported in the wrong spot. It's just very unfortunate that my graphics card cannot really keep up too well with it. It doesn't bottleneck too much, but it's actually not too bad. But other than that, I'm capable of playing more games. I'm capable of doing more things now. And to speak upon that, now we're back to the topic on a lot of other things we can talk on. Another thing is I have a ton of video ideas, ton of ideas overall to do with my channel that will go about. And I've been talking to a certain somebody that's been helping me along with my video ideas and been giving me quite some inspiration in the mix too. Huh? I bet you guys didn't know that part. Yep, I am currently in a relationship. Old Quan, for some people that know, old Quan back then always had his doubts and like so and so. Now I wasn't always talking in the most negative way, but it was like a lot of situations went about that had like constant people involved. And I'm not saying the person that I am deeply intertwined with, that was probably said that wrong. That was laggy. Y'all saw that, right? Anyway, but the person I'm deeply feel like I'm destined to be with. But more in line, there was past situations in the past that happened where I did make attempts, or there was some attempts being made, and some of them were backfired. It was like really a bad time for the mental health. But at the same time, I recovered, and somebody was there to cheer me up and help me on. Now, moving to the next thing. There's a lot of other ideas that I have, a lot of things that might be a little different than just gaming, but it would still be gaming overall. I got some emotes coming in. I have to unfortunately rework on a lot of other things. When my computer had crashed up and burned and kind of screwed over, a lot of other problems occurred as well. I kept getting blue screens after blue screens, and at one point I had to format my hard drive. And when that happened, I lost everything. But at least my computer is working for the time being. At the same time, it's not the end of the world. I always tell myself it's not the end of the world. I lost a lot of things, and there's a lot of other stuff on there that I wish I had backed up and I wish I had kept, because it was very important to me. But I essentially had to fix the hard drive myself by pretty much copying and duplicating the files I had on my old PC and putting them here. So what you're doing, so I'm back to basically square one with a upgrade of what I originally had, just more space. And yeah, that's about it. All right. Now, one other thing I like to point out before I end off this video is that I do not like playing Wizard101 with, you know, the Wizard101 community. Now, this is a topic that I didn't want to bring up, but this was also a topic that I felt the need to bring up. Now, a lot of people don't understand, but the Wizard101 community isn't toxic. It's not toxic. There's a small percentage of toxicity involved, but it's not toxic. It's just repetitive. Now, when I say repetitive, it repeats in a way that you will sense it immediately if I ever speak when I speak on it. Now, what this community does when you stream, it's not bad. It really isn't. It feels like people only want the recognition than the actual, like, I don't know how to explain it. So the thing is this, right? When you stream, or you ever stream Wizard101, it's just people mainly care and have a goal for one thing. There's never really actual supporters involved. And that's not me complaining and saying that I wish I had supporters on Wizard101, because I can't really say that, because I most definitely did have supporters back then. If people knew about my trilogy back then, not my trilogy, yeah, well, what trilogy? My 3 years within playing this game. But it's just like, there's so much. Oh yeah, if you guys haven't noticed, I'm already done with this area. I'm just doing side quests. That's why I'm so much of a powerhouse as it is. That's why I'm really humongous. But do your side quests, folks. But it's just sometimes I ask myself all the time, is it really worth streaming this game? Now, from the years I spent streaming this, some people can deal with it, but for me, I can't bring myself to care. Now, I'm not influenced. I'm not bothered. I flat out just don't care when it comes to people trolling and just being annoying and just like overall attention seeking. The problem with this is there's a good percentage of most of the players doing the same thing over and over again. You got 5 things in total, and I'll name those 5 things. One will be begging to be on your friend list, begging to be on the stream with you, begging just like help you on questing and stuff. That's nothing wrong with that, but at the same time, it's just like, if you're not accepting friend requests or like doing anything, it's an attitude. It's a whole like complete attitude. It's just like everyone's all upset now because you're not added them and they're not jumping in the stream now. What is the point? Everyone else is like, is this whole thing about like collective friend lists is that was a hell of a sentence I just said. It collective friends off the friend list that have no actual purpose of like being there. If you're not streaming or you're not playing a game or anything, it's an issue. I never understood that. I used to do it years ago, but it was just like I've realized how annoying it got when everyone wanted me to add them, and I was just like, why am I adding all these people for what particular reason? And then everyone expects you to remember who's who. It's such an annoying concept of the game. It's not even the concept of the game. It's such an annoying concept of the community when you stream this game. It's not really the best thing to deal with. And plus, on top of that, some people have like a certain agenda, which lead on to number two. For number two, I will say that the begging for crowns, begging for magnaships, begging for basically everything. I have got to tell you, this is not just a Wizard101 thing. This is an overall gaming like thing, you know, as a whole. And if you thought treasure cards was the most annoying thing people ask for and beg for, in this game, people will beg you for, I think, gifting. They will beg gifting on here rather just like what everybody else is at. Now, that's not me saying overall, yeah, go somewhere else and go beg for gifting over there. But this is me saying that you come to my stream, ask me if I'm doing a free gifting or something free that benefits you, even though you just jumped in. I say no. You immediately leave and get mad. I'm confused. Now, the thing about that is, like, it's happens from time to time. It's a lot of just like weird people that just like do things like that and get highly upset. I have once, I think I spoke of this before, I have once on 2019 experienced somebody just like jumping in and ask me such questions. I tell them my exact answer, and next thing I know it, somebody comes back in telling me all kinds of nonsense, and I was just like, what? So apparently one of the people jumped in on another stream and made false claims on things just to get people off and unviewing me, just to see me as a bad person. And you know how the social media and the internet works. People just believe word from mouth rather than just like seeing actual proof of things, which is unbelievable at times. Well, I'm not going to say unbelievable. It's actually really likely unbelievable. We live in a world where everyone's in their own open minds, I should say. Everyone's slow, I should say that. But not for everybody. It's times where I just sit there and just I have to ask myself these kind of questions and just be like, why out of all people do I have to deal with that? And on top of it, there's some attitude that brought apart like racism. There's a lot of racism involved into Wiz, and some people hide that, and you would not believe it unless someone else says something about it. Now, there's been times where I've jumped into Wizard101 streamers and I get automatically called into N-word before I even get a chance to even speak out anything, and it sucks, man. It really does. I was playing my childhood game. I wanted to stream a game. I have barely any equipment, barely any funds for anything, barely any like help and support as it is, other than a few people that's been there with me. And then all of a sudden, that's just out of nowhere, I'm getting bashed and backlash before I even get given a chance. It kind of sucks because it does wrap around my childhood, and I don't really like that too much. But at the same time, it's just like it really sucks. But whoever knows. I had to grow out of it. I had to strengthen myself. I had to grow out of it. I had to strengthen myself. I had to be better and like be better than myself. Now it's just like you jump in, I deal with your crap. I just be like, okay, insta ban. I don't feel like dealing with you. Somebody else can go babysit you. But it sucks. It really does sucks. I really wish that we can go back to the times where gaming felt so humble. Number 3 would be the community just being backseaters out the cheeks. I don't get why we're backseating in Wizard101. You ruin the experience for new players just because you're so overly excited, overly zealous, and everything. Now, this is not a Wizard 101 type of thing. This is more like, once again, the overall, gaming thing. But it's just like, why are you backseating people who's trying to have fun at the game? It I don't get I don't get it. This game doesn't really have too much to offer, and yet you backseat them and then wonder why they're not playing again. It's like a chain cycle that doesn't make any sense. And the best part about it is that some of the people that backseat are 90% of the time wrong. They'll tell them information on things that they think makes sense, or they think it's right, and it's not right. They'll tell them something that's just like completely off, misinformation, misdirections. It's just like it's terrible. I remember months ago, somebody jumped into my stream telling me how to play the game, and I was just like, what? Backseaters are the worst. They are. It's a small peeve of mine, but they are the worst. I get it. You're overly happy. You're excited. You want your favorite streamer to play your game, but at the same time, just shut up. I'm sorry, but I had both Colossal and Gargantuan in my deck. I always have my deck was only limited to certain cards, so I have like a little bit of Gargantuan in my deck just in case I need an enhancement, because sometimes I don't really trust. I do that with my deck all the time. Like, I'll spam Colossal, but I will have 2 Gargantuans just in case. Now, somebody jumped in the stream one time and they only saw the Gargantuan, and it was like, you can just go get your stuff and da 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 da, right? I answered the question. I was like, oh no, I already know. I already have it. Yeah, you just have to go to da 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 da. Sir, I know. I already had it. Show up proof and everything. I don't know. It's like babysitting kids. I understand you're trying to help, but it really does feel like it's babysitting. But hey, what do you words, man? Let me tell you. What can I say? It's just video games at its finest. Now, fourth thing being is the spamming. There feels like there's a lot of spammers in the Wizard101 community now than there were before. A lot of like people trolling. People just like trying their hearts out just to get so much attention. And I just don't get why. These people Wizard101 already has a bad view count as it is, let alone in the double digits rather than like triple digits, quad digits, or any type afterwards, because I can't think about it, sorry. But you mean to tell me you take so much time in the day to push people away rather just being humble and just like letting everyone enjoy their time? But instead, why? It's just why. I never understood why that was always a thing. And I always ask myself this every single time. There's times where other people would jump in the chat, harass the other chatters, and you just sit there and ask yourself, I don't get it. Why do you do this? Why? Just why? The fifth thing, which is an all expiring thing that still gets to me this day, is the self-promoting off like chat. Some people will add you just to promote themselves. I don't know. They'll throw it off in a sentence somehow, but they'll like promote themselves, try to get about everything, and like try to get I'm just messing with you. No, but seriously though, the fifth thing will be other Wiz streamers. You can believe it or not, some other Wiz streamers, there's a small chance on it. It's an all-time annoying thing, but it's a small chance on it. But some of them don't show their true colors. Now, you in your head might think that some of your some other Wiz streamers might be like chill, happy, on the go and stuff, but no, some of them are pretty toxic, pretty toxic. Not well, not well, not well for the mental health. Really bad to people. Some of them are pretty toxic. Really toxic. Now, some of them are scammers. Some of them are toxic. Some of them are liars. And some of them aren't the best of people in the world. Now, I'm not bashing anybody. I'm not talking mess about anybody. And some people can actually point out some names of who I'm talking about in general. But the type of people I'm talking about in general. But not in general. Specifically, Jesus. Oh my, I don't know. Sorry, chat. I only had like a chat. Wait, chat? No, I'm not even streaming. And that right there is what 4 hours of sleep does to you. But as I was saying before, some people know what I'm talking about specifically. But there's a whole lot of, how you say, catfishing, toxicity, a whole lot of bad mouthing, a whole lot of everything. And throughout my experience of playing Wiz, some of those people just don't care. At the time being, well, still to this day, I cared for all my viewers, and I try to keep track of all of my viewers as much as possible. And then, like, some other streamers were badmouthing me, all because mainly just like who I was, the color of my skin, my jokes, or whatever. It was just like so much of it. The amount of times that I tried to just like block it off, I really wanted to give up streaming. After a minute, I felt like I couldn't get anywhere. But as time passes, I know my own potential. I found my own worth. I found my own potential, and I knew what to handle through. And then I met somebody to help me through it as well. So at this time being, that was the updates that I wanted to get about and wanted to talk about. But other than that, for the time, I think, oh, that's exactly how I wanted to end this video. Good old earthquake. Man, we don't miss it. Camera angle? Wow, a lot is happening. How are you? Oh, I forgot I have chat blocked. See, that's a sign of why I don't look at of what I was talking about. But I really appreciate everybody that supported me in from the start. I mainly give a main shout out to Mini Cass, like 1 2, and Kalinka, who I have not seen in a long time. He was my main supporter for a minute. I don't know where he disappeared to. It would be nice to know if he was doing well again, but unfortunately I have lost all communication with him ever since then. But he was a super chill, super cool guy. But they was my main homies back then. Unfortunately, though we may not speak. Oh, also Twitchy. Sorry, Twitchy. Though we may not speak like we used to because due to responsibilities and us aging over time, we have found and realized that we have to grow up and have to let time fall by as for us to succeed in life and for us to continue to do the things that we love. And we have not valued our childhood long enough to be able to sit there and like all be able to, you know, explore more. But we're adults now. We're adults now. We have a lot of responsibilities and a lot of things going about. But at the same time, my responsibility is not only to hold my community up, but hold my family up as well. I still have a lot of things on the plate, but that does not mean that I forget you guys as well. So I will be posting more videos, mainly more stream videos. But the other videos and stuff, I kind of don't have any editing software. So this is more of a test video, a quick test video of what I can do right now with Adobe Premiere. Even though I have not used Adobe Premiere in years, I've been mainly stuck on Sony Vegas. So this will, I think that just rendered on my screen. So this will actually be quite the experiment that I'm about to go through here. But I appreciate you guys jumping in. This is not fucking, I cursed. Sorry. I'm going to have to cut that out. But this is not, you know, me streaming. I gotta remind myself I'm not streaming. I'm so used to streaming. I'm sorry. But I appreciate you guys staying with me to thick and thin on everything. that I've been through from the start to finish, and it's been so much where I can just like write a book on it, and it could be more in depth from my past to present, but there's more like personal stuff involved. But at the same time, I love you guys. I'd like to really say thank you all for all being with me, but I still got some more work I need to do, and I still got some more videos I need to post, and I still got some more things I need to show. I got some Genshin Impact gameplay and some other gameplays and stuff. I had a video idea for Genshin Impact that flopped immediately because I got what I needed. That kind of sucks. But I got a ton of ideas to come out. I still need equipment, but I'm gonna see if I can make do with what I have, and I'm gonna see if I can still run with what I have. But for the time being, I love you guys. I hope to catch you guys next time. I will be posting more stream videos, but I'll catch you guys next time.